Hello everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the October 18 patch notes. I've broken it down to several different categories. Basically, I'm going to be covering the following things. First of all, in 2017, there's a new costume for our Halloween event. There's a different cost for Baleful or Seraph level 1 to 9. The daily challenge reward chest, there's a new currency. As for there's a change in the Draken Accessories, the Fallen Aransu school, the new Halloween event, the Merchant of Wonder. There's a few changes with Celestial Basin with their peaches, PvP home moon skills, you can now salvage and craft gems, there are sealing charms for your soul, there's a new special bonus for beating BT and VT, and then there's a few special things about Vortex Temple. So anyway, I'm going to be covering all these topics. So at the first, let's begin talking about the Baleful and Seraph from level 1 to level 9. They're changing it quite a bit. If you look at Baleful 7 to Baleful 9, the cost is, you need either the Oblivion pistols and the Akamor pistols, and you need 2 Forging Orbs, 2 Premium Transformation Stones, 20 Naru Tablets, 260 Soul Stones, 60 Moonstones, and 30 Elysian Crystals. So what have they changed? So we see here on their stream, there is a screenshot of Seraph 7 to Seraph 9, and you can see that there are different upgrade paths now. There are 4 different upgrade paths. You can see this one's still the original one, the 2 Forging Orbs, 2 Premium Transformation Stones, blah 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 blah. However, you can see that there are new changes down here. There's upgrade Reinforcement Path 2, which costs a little bit less. You can see that only costs 160 Soul Stones instead of 260. And it costs 45 Moonstones instead of 60 Moonstones, and 20 Elysian Crystals instead of 30 Elysian Crystals. So it's just the weapon plus 12 of these Void Fragments. So basically they're allowing you to use Void Fragments to lower the cost on certain things. However, what's really interesting is down here at Reinforcement Path level option 4. You can see here that it uses 23 Void Fragments, 2 Forging Orbs, 2 Transformation Stones, just regular Transformation Stones, not Premium, 10 Naru Tablets, 60 Sacred Crystals, 30 Moonstones, and 10 Elysian Crystals, and only 48 gold. So the gold cost is the same across the board. However, the material cost is very different depending on how many Void Fragments you use. So this is extremely interesting because, as we all know, Premium Silver Transformation Stones actually cost quite a bit. So now with this option, just by using the Void Fragments, you can actually cut down on your cost quite a bit. However, the problem with this is Void Fragments are quite expensive. If you want to try to buy them on the marketplace, you're looking at maybe 60 gold. So let's see, let's open up the marketplace. So we can see here that we open up Void Fragment. If we want the sealed versions, which only drop in Iron Type Forge, you're looking at 65 gold each. So these are not cheap. They're quite expensive. However, we're quite lucky that because of the daily dash over here, we can get Void Fragments here. We can also get Void Fragments from the daily challenge, which it's currently still giving Raven Feathers, but on some days it gives Void Fragments. And so basically what we want to be doing now is just making sure you complete your dailies every day and stocking up on these Void Fragments, as they will be saving you a lot of resources, a lot of materials, it's not going to save you on gold, but it's going to save you a lot of resources from getting Baleful 1 to Baleful 9 really fast. So for your ults, this is great. And that's it regarding Baleful 1 to Baleful 9. Keep in mind that there will be no changes after Baleful 9. From Baleful 9 to 10, 11, 12, and then all of your Dawnforge and Raven, there are no changes on these paths. The only change here was from Baleful 1 all the way to Baleful 9, or Seraph, depending on what you use. However, it's going to cut down on cost by quite a bit. So, you're going to have less farming. However, you're just going to have to make sure that you have the Void Fragments. Okay, let's move on. So next thing on the list is the daily challenge reward chest. So they're changing this. So if we look over here, they've added the daily challenge reward chest. So they added a new currency. You can see here that every day when you finish your daily challenge, you're going to get this daily challenge reward quest. And what's inside is 3 fortune potions, 4 solar energies, as well as an excellent Home Moon EXP charm. So these are guaranteed. Then you've got your gold as usual. You've also got a heroic friendship charm. There's a chance of that dropping, and a stew, and there's a chance of dropping more solar energy. So solar energy is now a new type of currency. So what exactly can it do? So now we see here that solar energy can be used to change into void fragments if you need them. So 5 solar energies will equal 1 void fragment if you need it for your weapon. You can also use it to exchange it for pentagonal jewels, your diamonds, your rubies. You can even change it for aquamarine and etc. So this is extremely good and useful. However, the most important thing is over here. So we can see over here that in order to get these soul badges, you need 125 of these solar energies. As I showed in the previous picture over here, in the daily challenge reward chest, you get 4 solar energies every day. However, of course, there's a chance of critting and getting extra. We're just going to imagine that you have the same luck as me and you never crit. So if you never crit, in order to get your soul badge, you will be farming at about 32 days. It's 31.25 days, but you know, we're going to round up. So in 32 days, as long as you do your daily challenge every single day, you're going to get your soul badge within a month, basically. And that's pretty good comparing to the old way where you had to farm the tokens. Like the tokens, there are certain things that you wouldn't be able to farm for until it was that season. For example, on my fire gunner, I really want the Holy Fire Soul Badge. However, I was unable to get this because you can't farm it on TOI. You needed to wait until it was the right season in order to farm it. So this is extremely useful. 125, which is basically a month of farming, a month and like 1 day. So that's pretty good. So I will be working on getting my soul badge since it is a permanent soul badge. So this really good news. And finally, another thing that they're changing is they're adding in the Fallen Aransu School finally. So now we can actually complete our weeklies. You'll get this letter from a nomad priestess. This will just pop up in your quest letters over here. It'll just pop up here. Just make sure you read it. And then you go in front of the dungeon and you just talk to an NPC and you'll be able to unlock the Fallen Aransu School. And that's it. It's a very simple quest and it's very easy to unlock this mission. Basically, if you're premium, on DKV you get 11 gold a week. However, on the Fallen Aransu School, the reward is 13 gold. So that's pretty good. Being able to do those 2 quests and getting 23 gold a week plus the weekly challenge reward, it is a win-win situation. Yeah, so that's it for the daily and the weeklies. So next thing is the Draken Accessories. Let me just turn on my light. So for the Draken Accessories, if you guys watched my previous video, you would be able to see that I told everyone that you should quickly exchange your items for the Draken jewelry if you wanted to sell them. Because the thing is, once this patch kicks in, which is on the 18th of October, when you get 200 of them, you're not able to switch to the Draken accessories. They immediately get switched to the Oath necklace, to the Destiny ring, Eternity belt, Divine, Dragon bracelet, or Tiger bracelet. You get to choose. Basically, once you've collected 200 of that certain material, it'll immediately be transferred into the useful legendary version of them, which is only if you want to sell them, they're only worth 3 copper. So if you already have, for example, the necklace and you have maybe like 180 of the claws already, just play a little bit more, quickly redeem them into the necklace and sell it off for 100 gold. If not, then in the future, these are going to be pretty useless to you. So let's say that you have the Draken accessory already. It's okay. They've got you covered as well. So once you get the Draken accessory, you keep it until the patch kicks in. After the patch kicks in, you just open up the Dragon Express, then you can immediately exchange it with the Draken necklace or the Draken accessory plus 10 gold, and you immediately get the awakened version or the useful version basically. However, there's one thing that you guys should keep in mind that is kind of interesting is over here, the bracelet. So as we can see here, it's a Draken bracelet plus 10 gold, and you can choose between the Divine Dragon bracelet chest or the Tiger bracelet chest. However, keep in mind, this is the Draken bracelet. So in order to get the Draken bracelet, you actually have to open it and take it out of the box in order to exchange it. However, to get it out of the box, it actually costs a Hong Moon, or it costs a brilliant key. So in order to save money or save resources, what I recommend is if you do get the bracelet, just keep it in its chest. Don't open it yet, and see when the patch kicks in on October 18, see if you can change it. I'm guessing what they're going to do is they're going to make it into like an antique item where you can exchange it to the new Divine Dragon Bracelet chest or the Tiger Bracelet chest. I'm assuming they're going to do that, because if you open it now, you're going to have to exchange it to a chest and waste another Brilliant Key, which is quite expensive if you're buying them. But if you're crafting them, it's not too bad, but why waste the money? Okay, so that's it for the Draken Accessories. So next is the Fallen Aransu School. So the Fallen Aransu School is quite interesting. Basically, once you go in, there will be a dynamic mission, which allows you to gain 3 boxes, the material box, and this is just the crafting box, and this is some extra loot. And you also get to select a reward, either Raven Feathers or Hive Wings. However, let's take a look at what rewards we can actually get. So looking here, we look at the Vile Blood's Thrall's treasure, and you can see here that you get an Aransu orb. You also get 3 to 4 excellent EXP pouches, EXP charms. You also get 3 flowers. You get gem hammers, blah, 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 blah. So basically, by doing your weekly, by coming here and doing the Fallen Aransu School, you're guaranteed to get 1 Aransu orb, which is used later on for upgrading your Aransu weapons, which is a tier above the Raven weapons. And you also get some EXP charms, you get some flowers, and then there's a chance of getting a sealed forging orb, which is quite good, because these are sealed versions, which mean they're marketable, they're tradable. So, you know, it's not too bad. As for the gem hammers and the Naru tablets, you know, it's just extra stuff, I guess. Moving on over here, we can see that we also get the Fallen Aransu School treasure chest, which is extremely good, because it gives you 10, there's a chance of getting 10 of the non-tradable versions of these materials, or 5 of the tradable versions. It's pretty good, it's pretty useful. Then the last reward is the Grandmaster Material chest, which gives you 5 to 6 normal materials, 3 to 5 premium materials, 1 to 3 special materials, and it's guaranteed 2 to 3 rare elements. This, for people that do crafting, you know, rare elements are very important. You want to stockpile on them, and because a lot of high level crafting does require the rare elements. So this is a nice touch to it. Okay, and that's about it for the Fallen Aransu School. You know, it's quite simple. You know, it's good rewards. It's not a very difficult dungeon. I do have a video on this dungeon. I'll leave it in the description below. You guys can check it out. It's a little bit old, but it was on the Chinese server, and the mechanics are still the same. Please do read the comments though, because in the video I didn't know a certain mechanic, which a lot of people explained to me, so that's pretty good. Anyhow, that's it for the Fallen Aransu School. Next up is the Halloween event. I believe last year on the NA server you guys had a Blade and Gowlish event or something. I'm not sure. I wasn't around. I heard that you guys had this event before. So basically, when you do your dailies, you're going to get your regular rewards. However, there's going to be a new gift box. So this gift box gives you these 3 different candies, fortune potions, fireworks, and then there's a chance of giving you all these fancy stuff, including Raven Feathers, Sacred Oils, Void Fragments, and a Transcendence Engine, which is actually used for getting your Obsidian Gems, which is really nice. Now let's go over what each of these candies actually do. So the first kind of candy that you get is the Skull Candy. So this candy has several restrictions. Although the buffs are amazing, there are several restrictions. You can only use it in Skybreak Spire or BT, Temple of Illuvian, which is Vortex Temple, and Scion's Keep. So you can only use it in these 3 raid areas. And basically it will give you 50 attack power and 10% critical damage. However, when you die, you lose this buff. When you log out, you lose this buff. When you go through, I'm not sure if you go through a loading screen, you might lose this buff as well if you go through a loading screen. So anyway, the Skull Candy's mainly for DPS, as you can see, you know, the 50 AP and the critical damage. Over here, we can see the Snack O Lantern, which is mostly for the tanks. They give you plus 500 defense and plus 50% threat. And finally, there's the Flaming Jawbreaker, which gives you 15% damage reduction. So basically, the skull is for attack, the pumpkin is for tanks, and the Flaming Jawbreaker is for the people, for example, myself, when we're doing Black Tower, like the first boss or something. It's just to keep us alive, is to help lower geared players stay alive. That's basically the gist. Okay, so next up we're going to be talking about the Merchant of Wonder. So the Merchant of Wonder this time will have several places that they will spawn. The Merchant of Wonder, for those people who haven't seen her before or haven't done this before, is basically when you clear a dungeon, when you kill the last boss and everything is done, there's a chance of this merchant to randomly appear and she'll sell 8 random items in the game. However, on the NA server, I think they do have a loot pool. It's not like any random items. They actually have a set amount of items that she can sell. And basically, it's like a mini trove. So when they come out, everyone gets excited because the items that she sells are quite useful. So the highest rate is, first of all, it's going to be cold storage. Cold storage, we don't know the rates, but they said on the stream that it has the highest percentage chance of the Merchant of Wonder to spawn. And then second place would be Ebondrake Lair, then Irontech Fortress, Naru Sanctum, Naru Foundry, Desolate Tomb, Ebondrake Citadel, Shogun's Lament, and Shattered Masts. Anything under Shattered Masts, excluding cold storage, the Merchant of Wonder does not spawn. So when you do your purple train, just make sure that if your party is farming a bracelet or farming a certain item, to spam the higher level dungeons if you're looking for the Merchant of Wonder. Now let's take a look at what exactly the Merchant of Wonder can drop, or what items that she can have. So if we look over here you can see that there's the Snacko Lantern. The Snacko Lantern is the tank buff. It is the one that gives 500 defense and 50% more threat. This, I'm guessing, is just going to be a rotating item. It's going to either be the pumpkin, or the skull, or the flame, and this slot's probably set. So the next 2 slots are costume slots. So keep in mind, this time, to buy costumes, they're not gold. You need fabrics in order to exchange for the costumes. So if you want to stock up on some fabrics now, it might be a good time to start crafting them, or to purchase them, or to stock up on a couple fabrics. However, keep in mind that there are 2 different types of fabrics. There's the regular fabric, which is the red one, and there's the premium fabric, which is the gold one. So obviously, the better looking costumes are going to cost premium fabrics, while the lesser costumes, or the more common costumes, are gonna cost regular fabrics. So make sure, if you do go and cross server to do your dailies or your purple train, to always keep your fabrics on your character, or else if the Merchant of Wonder spawns and you don't have any fabrics on you, then you're not going to be able to buy the costumes. Other than that, they'll spawn some random items over here, such as Naru Tablets, Flower of Laments, Fortune Potions, and Rare Elements. So you might be wondering over here, what exactly does this rare gold chest drop? So thank goodness they did it in the stream, so let's see now. So basically, the rare gold chest has a chance of dropping gold. So you're basically gambling. You're betting 15 gold, you're investing 15 gold, and you're hoping to get a return on it. There's a chance of getting 5 gold, 10 gold, 50 gold, 100 gold, and 1,000 gold. So this one is kind of RNG based. I don't know if anyone's going to do it. I mean, I would do it if there are no good items, but I really doubt that there's not going to be any good items around. So you can see over here that the Bewitching Hat, so this one is the witch hat that she's wearing right now. This came out last event, I think, and it was very high in demand. But you can see that it cost a premium fabric, as well as the Great Pumpkin weapon chest. They added the gunner weapon in it. It looks kind of cool. Unfortunately, I don't have a screenshot of that. So just make sure that you do have premium fabrics, just in case something really awesome comes up, so that you can actually purchase the costume. But for people that don't really care about cosmetics, it's perfectly fine. You can probably just gamble on the rare gold chest, or just wait until maybe like forging orbs or something useful comes up for you guys. Okay, so that's it for Merchant of Wonders, so let's go to Peaches. So if we come to Celestial Basin, which we are right now, and we talk to this vendor, you can see over here that it's it still cost 20,000 peaches for all of these mystic badges and 60 feathers or 60 flowers. This is being changed. It's being reduced back to what premium gives you. Basically, it's going to be 16,000 peaches and 50 flowers and 50 raven feathers, which is a really good change. I really like that. So you can still get void fragments here for 1,200 peaches. And over here this is still the old version before the update. You can get the Xano discs, forging orbs, Tyken skins, Stone of Wisdom, and Flower of Lament, as well as MSP soul shields 6, 7, 8, and all these weapon chests, as well as Naru tablets, EXP charms, and a Silver Frost refining stone. However, in the new update coming up, they're changing it. You can see here that the peaches will cost 16,000. It'll cost 15 of the feathers or the flowers. Void fragment is still the same cost, still 1,200 peaches. However, they're adding in a treasure pouch. You can now get treasure pouches by farming peaches for 500 peaches, which is extremely, extremely good. So I'm expecting to see a lot of people farming Celestial Basin the next couple days just to stock up on these peaches. And they're lowering the prices for a lot of the weapon chests. We can see here that the Ujara weapon still costs 6,000 and the Python weapon costs 6,000 here. And if we look at the screenshot over here, they made it to 5,000 for the Ujara, and they lowered it by a lot for the Python. It's only 900 and a Naru tablet. And I'll show you the other weapon chests now. So over here you can see that the weapon chests, for example, the Ebony, Wildwater, Covenant, Oblivion, all of these weapon chests have been reduced dramatically in peaches. So one of the most important ones is over here. The one which I hated the most, which is the Twisted Weapon, is now really easy to get. The old way to get the Twisted Weapons was you had to go into the stupid map and do a lot of stupid things and farm forever and ever and ever, and I hated it. But now, you can just come here, farm 900 peaches and a Naru tablet, and voila! You've got your locked Twisted Weapon chest, and then you use a Brilliant Key and open it. So it's amazing. If you look at the game right now, in order to get your Twisted chest, you need to farm 6,000 peaches. They're nerfing it. They're not nerfing it. They're lowering the requirement from 6,000 peaches down to freaking 900. 900 peaches. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing. So this will help a lot of new players catch up much, much faster, as well as alts, if you have a lot of alt characters that you want to work on. So another thing that they're adding into the Peach Shop is also the different foods that you need for your Offal, I think. I think it's for the Offal or for some... It's one of your Home Moon skills anyway. So you can now get all of the foods that you need to unlock one of your Home Moon skills. For the Gunner, it is your E skill, your grappling hook skill. You eat all 5 of these different foods and you'll unlock it. And over here, let's take a look again. You know, again, it's to confirm that you can get treasure pouches for 500 peaches. Here it is, treasure pouch. It's exactly the same as the regular treasure pouches that you get from Shoguns, from Shattered Maps, from all the other maps. And it's still the same. Chance of dropping Elysian Crystal, Moonstones, Sacred Crystals, and Soul Stones. So this is amazing. You know, for people that don't want to farm dungeons over and over and over again, they have an alternative. Because this way you don't actually have to bid against anyone and you don't have to spend money. You can just farm peaches indefinitely and get treasure pouches, which give you materials. So this is great. So I quite like this change. So another thing that they're changing is the PvP Home Moon skills. So let's take a look here. So for the players that like to do PvP, they've also got you covered over here. If you come to the PvP solo matches, you can see that you can now exchange these tokens as well as the medals to unlock your Home Moon level 1, 2, 3, 4 skills, as well as the Chilling Flame Elixir. And they've lowered the price by quite a lot. So now if you solely like to PvP, you don't want to do any PvE, you don't want to farm anything, it's a lot easier to get your Home Moon skills through PvP. For those players who like to use Battlegrounds, they also have you covered. You also can just collect these tokens as well, and you can unlock all the skills, as well as collect all the Offals, which is very, very useful. So now's the interesting part. Here we're going to be talking about salvaging and crafting gems. In the stream, they salvaged a heptagonal aquamarine. You know, I died a little bit inside when they did this, but you know, they're GMs, so they can make it reappear, I guess. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so over here about the gems, I think the website explains it the clearest. So I'm just gonna do the TLDR. All right. So basically, in order to get gems, you can use solar energy, which is the daily rewards that you get from doing the daily challenge. You can use that to get 5-sided gems if you want. But that's not the best use of the solar energies. I feel the better use of the solar energies is to quickly get your soul badge, the one that you want. Maybe it might be the Holy Fire one or the Magnum one, which is also really strong. And there's a lot of soul badges out there that I think that is more beneficial to your character compared to gems. However, over here you can see pentagonal and higher gems will be salvaged to receive a variable amount of home moon gem fragments and or home moon gem powder based on quality, which are tradable. 10 powders can be combined to create a fragment, and in the reverse. A fragment can be salvaged into 10 powders. You'll also be able to purchase home moon hexagonal gems directly from the Draken Express for 4 gem powders, allowing you to directly and quickly exchange for other types. So that is pretty insane, to be honest. Like, if you see over here, for the squares, you get nothing. You cannot salvage the squares. For the 5-sided ones, you get 1 gem powder. For the 6-sided ones, you get 4 gem powders. For the 7-sided ones, you get 1 gem fragment and 6 powders. This essentially means 16 powders, because 1 gem fragment equals 10 gem powders. And as for the octagonal ones, you get 6 gem fragments and 4 powders, which is 64 powders, which is crazy. Because with 64 powders, it says here, you can purchase that the Home Moon 6-sided gems directly from the Draken Express for 4 gem powders. That's the small one. So if you have an octagonal one and you salvage it, you can get 64 of these powders. That can get you a lot of a specific gem that you need. So, you know, it might be in your best interest to take a look at if you have any 8-sided gems, to save them until the patch and then salvage them. If they're, you know, if they're an 8-sided gem that you don't really need, you can save them, salvage them, and then maybe get like an 8-sided diamond or an 8-sided aquamarine, which would be pretty good. So there's that. And then other than that, there's this new thing over here that is really important, guys. Okay? So this is, with this new system, we are removing radiant energy and mysterious crystals from the gem transmutation recipes, and both will be exchangeable as antiques for 1 home moon gem powder or 1 solar energy respectively. So radiant energy is going to be able to be changed into 1 home moon gem powder, and solar energy and mysterious crystals will be able to be changed into 1 solar energy. In my opinion, I really don't care about the mysterious crystals. If you have a lot of them, that's good for you. You know, you can get your soul badges faster. But it's the radiant energy. This is the one that's really important. Right now, I'm assuming... right now, I'm pretty sure that the market for radiant energy has increased. The price of radiant energy has increased dramatically. I personally think that radiant energies are going to keep rising in price in the next couple of days until it hits a price ceiling. I think that the price ceiling is going to be about 20 gold to 25 gold. But where did I get this number? I'm just pulling this number out of my... Like, I don't know how much radiant energies are going to go up. I don't know how much I don't know their price ceiling. But I'm just guessing here. I'm just guessing that it's 20 to 25 gold. Because I bought some radiant energies. I bought about 20 radiant energies, because that way I can switch out all my gems. However, I do have a couple extras which I just farmed and I just got by chance. So those I might sell depending on if the price is right. I'm probably going to sell them, and when the price hits 25 gold, I will sell them for sure. If they hit 20 gold and they stop there, you know, I might wait until the last day and I'll sell it or something like that. So basically, if you're in my situation where your gear is similar to mine, you have the 6-sided one from the memory bell event, and then all the rest of your stuff is squares, you know, it's in your best interest to get all of these upgraded into 6-sided gems, because you get a lot of AP. Basically, you can see that a 6-sided gem gives you 15 AP here, and all of these give you 7. So basically, you're gonna get a lot of AP just by buying Radiant Energy. It's quite an investment, I guess, like right now, especially as the price keeps rising slowly. Just make sure that, you know, if you can afford it, just buy some now and hold on to it. If you can't, it's not the end of the world. You can always exchange them with the solar energies. However, the solar energies only give you 5-sided gems. Next up is Sealing Charms. So Sealing Charms, again, the website covers it really well. So it says over here, Brilliant Soul Sealing Charms. With this update, you'll be able to buy Brilliant Soul Sealing Charms from the Home Moon store and use it to seal high-level souls, which then allows the soul to be traded and sold. It's important to note that the higher the level of the soul, the more sealing charms needed. And here are the specific souls that will be able to be sealed. Awakened Home Moon Energy, True Home Moon Energy, Awakened Ascending Soul, True Ascending Soul, Awakened Transcendent Soul, Stage 5, True Ascendant Soul, Awakened Cosmic Soul, Stage 5, and True Cosmic Soul. So these are the only souls that can be sealed. So on the Chinese server, I've had a lot of experience already with the sealing charms, as we have this on our, you know, it's a normal thing to have now. Sealing charms are extremely expensive on the Chinese server. However, a lot of people use them because, for example, we are not limited to sealing souls only. We can seal weapons, we can seal any item in the game. So a lot of us will seal like a Raven weapon. Like we'll farm, maybe we'll get like a Raven 5 weapon or a Raven 9 weapon. We'd seal it and sell it on the market. However, sealing charms are very expensive. So when you sell it on the market, you're going to have the weapon's original price plus its upgraded price. And on top of that, you add on the sealing charm price in gold. So that's how we do it on the Chinese server. So even though this might seem like, oh, you know, we might be able to buy a soul on the marketplace, just keep in mind that there's going to be a very hefty markup because people will want to get their money back for purchasing the sealing souls to apply it on the soul. So don't expect the soul to be like, you know, 1-to-1 ratio. It's gonna be quite expensive. Okay, so other than that, we get a special treasure now whenever we complete Vortex Temple or Temple of Illuvian or whatever it's called. So when you beat that temple, like when you beat it all the way to the end, when you kill Zulia, you will be able to get a special treasure chest as well, which gives you a bunch of, you know, the Hive Queen hearts, which is really important. The Hive Queen wings, also really important. And then there's a chance of getting all these fancy cosmetics. So it's just icing on the top, you know, to encourage people to try to beat the dungeon. However, don't worry, we also have the Raven King special treasure. So for players that beat Black Tower or, yeah, Skybreak Spire, we also get the same reward. You know, again, we get 1 to 2 Raven King souls, which is very important. This is really good. As well as Raven Feathers, some EXP charms, and again, a bunch of cosmetics, which is a chance. But I think the main important thing here is the Raven King soul. So for people that are upgrading their Raven weapons, you know, this will be very useful. And finally, let's talk about Vortex Temple. So this is purely endgame. So first of all, we have the Hive Queen's Rancor, or I don't know how to pronounce this word, but this weapon is basically for the Kung Fu Master, Destroyer, Assassin, and Gunslinger. So this we get from killing Zulia at the very end, and this is basically for upgrading our weapons. For the other classes, there's the Barb, which is used for Force Master, Summoner, and Warlocks. And then there's this, which we don't have on the Chinese server. Apparently there's the Queen Hive Husk, which is for Blade Master, Blade Dancer, Soul Fighter. So this item is new. On the Chinese server, we only have 2 items. We have this one, Hive Queen's Rancor, but it's not for Gunslinger. It's available for all the melee classes. And then we have this item, the Barb, which is used for all the range classes. So they added another item, which I guess it's to help RNG, or I don't know. I don't know why they added the 3rd item and they separate the classes like this, but I don't know. So why do we need all these materials? It's over here. You can see from refinement path number 1, from a Raven 9 to the Aransu axe, you actually need the Queen's Hive Rancor or whatever material. You need these materials. You need one of them in order to awaken, well, not awaken, in order to break through out of the Raven stages into the Aransu stages. So that's why a lot of people are going to be wanting to kill Zulia to get these materials. You only need one, so it's not too bad, but it's, you know, since in the Chinese server, Zulia will only drop one of these items. She would either drop the melee one, or she would drop the range one. But now, since on the NA server they added a third one, which is this one, so I'm assuming that there's a 1 in 3 chance that they're going to be dropping this material, and she only drops one, so that's gonna suck a little bit, I guess. So as we can see here, Jonathan was really nice. He looked at Raven 9 all the way to Aransu level 6 and showed us the material costs. So, you know, it's gonna cost 320 gold and all these materials. It's not too bad if you look at it in face value. The only thing that I think will be the bottleneck is gonna be either the orbs, the Aransu orbs, 145 of these. I think you can only get a couple a week. And so this might be one bottleneck. And then the second bottleneck will be the 950 moonstones. This will also take a while to farm. Other than that, it's also going to be the Hive Queen's Rancor or whatever class you play. It's going to be either this or this one or this one. That's also going to be your next bottleneck, because only Zulia drops this, and she only drops one. Okay, and that's it for all the patch notes, basically. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. You know, comment in the comment section below, ask me questions, tell me what you think about this new patch. I personally think this patch is pretty good. It's helping a lot of new players and a lot of returning players catch up, so that, you know, we can at least clear the Black Tower content within a month or 2 months. So it's much easier for returning players or new players to catch up. As for the veterans of the game, you know, you guys have Vortex Temple. You guys have a lot of new content to tackle, because, you know, VT is not easy. If you guys are looking for a guide, it's probably BNS Academy is probably your best bet. It still is the old 24-man version, but meh, I think it's still worth taking a look. If you guys have better sources for the VT guide, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be quite interested to see that as well. Other than that, I think that's about it, really. Sorry for the really long video, but there is just a lot to cover. And yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
What can I say except